Hey everybody, welcome to Valentine TV. Uh this is I'm doing another uh reaction to the some of the charges getting dropped on Diddy, right? This time I wanted Ticket's perspective on it. So you can find him on YouTube also. Ticket TV on YouTube. Okay. So I want I want another perspective because we did teaser tales already this morning early while I was half asleep. So we're gonna get Tickets perspective. Each reason I want every reason I want to know what's going on. And so I don't know law like that, man, but they seem to do. They seem to, right? And so y'all please as you come in, hit the subscribe button, also the like button. And we're gonna get into it and see what is going on with these. Now, it's the state charges that has been dropped, no federal, right? But dang, I don't like any. But let's see what Ticket's gonna say about it, okay? Let's see.
Because I see right now there's a lot of lies and misconceptions being floated out here on the internet.
Just a minute, please.
And I'm going to break it down for you. Shout out to Jen Just Law with this report too. So salute. Y'all, can y'all hear me in the comments? Y'all can hear me? Okay. All right. Check it out, y'all. So let's get into it, man. So according to reports, the defense,
I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening. 1 second. Let me pull him back. Pull him back down. 1 second, please. Okay. I'm always messing with stuff. Okay. I'm gonna get it, y'all. Shoot. All right, 1 second. Wait. Okay. It's not me. Wait a minute. It's not me this time. Just 1 second, please. Please, please, please. Let's see here. Let's go back for a minute. Let's see. All right, let me let him catch up. Mashing the buttons too fast, maybe. Come on, Tick. Okay. Paused it. See something. Y'all. Alright. I know that somebody asked him like to take that demonic picture down, right? Somebody asked him to do that, and he was like, no, that defeats the purpose. I want that picture there. So y'all will see what kind of monster he really is. So, shoot, I'm gonna go ahead. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead. We got a picture up. Y'all can see me. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all what's going on the ticket stall. He said that they're like taking the state charges off. That way they won't have to explain it to the juror.
So according to reports, the defense had filed for an acquittal, which is going to be rejected by Judge Arm Serenian, and we already know that. But as the defense filed for an acquittal, the government has just made a very strategic move to disarm Diddy's legal team. Now, what am I talking about? The prosecution. The prosecution has now dropped some charges against Diddy. Now, the reason why they've done this, I'm going to explain exactly what's going on. So, in a calculated move, according to reports, that reveals their strategy for Endgame, the federal prosecutors in Diddy's trial have reshaped the battlefield for the jury. Now, as we already know, you guys, both sides have made their arguments. Diddy's team has asked for an acquittal. We all know he's not going to get that wish. But there was a late filing last night in which the prosecution dropped some of the charges in Diddy's case. I'm going to tell you what they did and why they did it. Now, a legal filing from last night shows that the government making a tactical retreat on some of the fronts while digging in on others. On the surface, the move is about streamlining. Prosecutors are dropping several charges, including attempted kidnapping and aiding and abetting sex trafficking, because they are, quote unquote, no longer planning to proceed on these theories of liability. But below the surface, this filing is a meticulous effort to preemptively dismantle Diddy's defense arguments and guide the jury through the complex and often counterintuitive.
In other words, they're making the directions that they're going to get a jury easier. They won't have to explain the state, how you do the state when you're in the jury and making up your mind, and then the federal, because it's two different ways that you go about making your decision on the state and then the federal. So they took all the state charges away, and they're gonna concentrate on the federal. That way, the judge can give and let the jury know exactly what the law about RICO really is, and they won't have to worry about trying to teach them the law of the state crimes like the bribery, arson, all of that stuff, right? So they're gonna stick to what a RICO is. Okay? So that'll be all the jury has to think about while they're in there deliberating. That's the way I'm getting it. So you tell me how you get it.
Intuitive
Okay.
realities of the sex trafficking law. Follow me now, y'all. Now, the core of the prosecution strategy is now clear to the whole public. They're willing to sacrifice lesser charges to focus the jury's attention entirely on the main counts of sex trafficking and forced labor. However, they are keenly aware that these are extremely complex legal concepts about which jurors may have preconceived and mistaken notions. The bulk of their 8-page letter to the judge is a plea to provide detailed, specific instructions that act as a legal roadmap to the jury. They're essentially asking the judge to teach the jury what sex trafficking and forced labor truly are, according to the law, rather than what the jurors might think they are based on movies or television.
Because you see these people, they already out here fussing. Oh, I don't see the RICO. I don't see this RICO. I don't see the RICO. So so now the judge has a chance to tell them exactly by law, step by step by step, what a RICO is. The defense can't go up in there trying to confuse them with all the other charges, right? That's what I heard. This is what I heard, okay? That they dropped the charges so not to confuse the jury, and also to stop the defense from trying to confuse the jury with it, mixing them up and all that stuff. So the only thing they can do in 4 hours, if it take them that long now, is to talk about what a RICO really is, right? That's it, and that's all. And they cannot talk about the other stuff that they threw off the table. They took away, right? They can't talk about it. They gotta only stick to the charges at hand, which is RICO. Okay, and buying a sex worker is under the RICO Act. All right, and y'all know he bought two, and it's one at a time. Each one is a charge. All right. It's like the Punisher, since you want to brag. The Punisher. And I forgot the other one's names, y'all. I wasn't paying attention.
Prosecution proposed instructions
Hey,
read like a direct rebuttal to Diddy's defense expected closing argument. So they anticipate that Diddy's defense is going to highlight the victim's prior consensual relationships with Diddy and the financial support they received, such as rent and salaries. To counter this, the prosecution are demanding instructions that explicitly state that earlier consensual sexual activity is not determinative of a later trafficking charge, and that receiving payment is not mutually exclusive with being a victim of forced labor. This is a crucial attempt to prevent the jury from concluding that a quote-unquote girlfriend or quote-unquote employee cannot, by definition, be a victim. This is not about lesser time. This is so Diddy gets more time. Follow me and think about what I'm telling y'all right now. Furthermore, the government is looking to broaden the jury's understanding of coercion. The request for an instruction on cumulative conduct is designed to allow jurors to see the pattern of alleged abuse over many years, including threats made to others that a victim was aware of as a single oppressive, quote-unquote, culture of fear. This directly combats Diddy's legal defense of isolating incidents and arguing that they don't rise to the level of any crime by asking for an instruction that physical restraint is not required for a trafficking conviction. The prosecutors are directly confronting the questions raised by Diddy's legal team about why victims didn't simply leave their situations. Ultimately, this document shows a prosecution team that is confident in its evidence, but worried about the jury's ability to navigate the complex legal definitions at the heart of this case. By dropping some charges and doubling down on instructions for others, they are making a strategic bet. They are trading a few minor battles to ensure they have the possible strongest position to win the war, armed with a jury that has been meticulously educated on what the law actually says. So basically, what has happened is the feds are disarming Diddy's legal team attempt at a final argument. So what they're doing is they're just getting rid of a little bit of the fact that they don't even need in the case. Remember, they've accused Diddy of multiple things under the RICO. Let me show you again. They've accused Diddy of multiple things under the RICO. But what they've done is, and this is way more than what we're watching right here. It's like almost, 20 different instances. What they've done is chopped off 3 of them. Not going to mean anything. So in the grand scheme of things, the only thing that the prosecution did is disarm Diddy's lawyers. Because now Diddy's lawyers, they probably had a whole 4-hour speech on what they were going to say. And in the last hours, the prosecution says, no, we don't even need all that. Like I told you guys before, the same way that they cut some of these charges is not meaning that Diddy's going to get off for this or the third. Doesn't mean that. The same way that they cut witnesses because they didn't need those witnesses. They already know they have enough for a conviction. All the feds are doing is doubling down on the jury instructions on the main charges they want Diddy to get found on. and these are the most harshest charges. The other charges they're not even worried about under the RICO, the arson, the attempted, what you call it. They knocking all that out so Diddy's lawyers can't come in and try to confuse the jury. So what they're going to do is they're going to have the judge, and the judge, when they give the jury instructions, they're going to educate the jury on what sex trafficking really is, not what the general public thinks it is. Because everybody, the general public thinks sex trafficking is one thing, and the law says it's something else.
Yeah. So the point is they just they don't want to confuse the jury with all like the state law and then the federal law. So they just strictly putting it on one thing. But the only thing I can understand is like, if where's the state prosecutor? I hadn't even noticed that it was all like a federal case. It was no state lawyers in there, and no state lawyer has came up and said, well, we'll charge him on the state level when y'all get finished. Or nothing. What the state people at, y'all? But anyway, it's just so it won't confuse the jury, but it's all federal. That means if Trump chooses to, he can pardon him because all of it's federal. That's what I heard. Okay, so let's pray. Let us pray. But I still think if Diddy was to get out, like I said last night before I knew all this, Jane Doe's baby daddy, he gonna tear him down because he was around his son doing the mess around the child. I think for him to ask, is the child home? You know what I'm saying? And that's after shit they got that house or whatever y'all want to call it, condo, mansion, whatever, for $10,000 a month. But anyway, for him to ask where's the child, all that stuff. I mean, you was around my son, man. You wait till you get up out of here. You wait. You know what I'm saying? So either way, he done for. That's what I think. But that's just a joke on my own part. But yeah, this might be around my son while I'm, doing that mess. But anyway, it's just so it won't confuse the jury. Like I just probably confused y'all. Sorry. But yeah, that's why they dropped the charges. Some of them. All right, so crazy. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go. Thank y'all for coming. If you want to see the rest of it, you can go to TICKETTV on YouTube. Thank y'all so much. Hey, Deborah in the house. Appreciate it, girl. All right, I'll talk to you later, okay?